The impossible achievement, Dr. Marcus Chun floated in the zero-gravity laboratory aboard Lunar Research Station, his weathered hands trembling as he made final adjustments to the dimensional folding drive. 23 years of research had led to this moment. The silver-haired physicist had dedicated his entire career to solving humanity's greatest challenge, traveling faster than light, without relying on theoretical wormholes or exotic matter that existed only in equations. The laboratory buzzed with quiet activity as his team prepared for humanity's first attempt at faster-than-light travel. Dr. Sarah Okafor monitored the energy readings from her station, her dark eyes focused intently on the cascading numbers. Chief Engineer Tommy Rodriguez worked methodically through his pre-flight checklist, his calloused fingers dancing across holographic controls with practiced precision. Navigator Lisa Park studied star charts, plotting their destination with mathematical perfection. Energy levels are stable at 97%, Sarah announced, her Nigerian accent adding musical notes to the technical jargon. Dimensional matrix is holding steady. All quantum field generators are operating within normal parameters. Marcus nodded, feeling the weight of history pressing down on his shoulders. If their calculations were correct, the small unmanned probe floating in the test chamber would fold space-time around itself, creating a bubble that could travel vast distances instantaneously. Unlike theoretical faster-than-light drives that required exotic matter or impossible energy requirements, their system used controlled dimensional manipulation that humanity could actually build. Tommy, how are our safety systems? Marcus asked, knowing that one miscalculation could tear a hole in space-time itself. The burly engineer looked up from his diagnostics. All emergency shutoffs are green. Containment fields are at maximum strength. If something goes wrong, we can collapse the dimensional fold in less than 3 milliseconds. His gruff voice carried the confidence of someone who had spent decades working with dangerous prototype technology. Lisa Park called out from the navigation station. Target coordinates confirmed. Proxima Centauri system, 4.24 light-years from our current position. If this works, we'll beat light itself by approximately 4 years and 4 months. Marcus felt his heart racing. Proxima Centauri was humanity's nearest stellar neighbor, home to potentially habitable worlds that had tantalized scientists for generations. If their drive worked, it would open the entire galaxy to human exploration. If it failed, they might accidentally create a miniature black hole that could consume the entire solar system. Initiating dimensional fold sequence, Marcus announced into his communication headset. Throughout Lunar Research Station, hundreds of scientists and technicians watched their monitors with bated breath. On Earth, government officials and military leaders waited for word of humanity's greatest gamble. The probe began to glow with an eerie blue light as exotic energy fields enveloped its hull. Reality seemed to bend around the small spacecraft, creating visual distortions that hurt to look at directly. Space itself appeared to be stretching and contracting like rubber, like pulled in impossible directions. Dimensional integrity holding, Sarah reported, her voice tight with concentration. Energy output is climbing, but still within acceptable ranges. Quantum field stability is ... wait. She paused, staring at her readings in disbelief. Marcus, these numbers can't be right. The energy requirements are dropping instead of climbing. Marcus rushed to her station, his eyes widening as he saw the impossible data. According to their instruments, the dimensional fold was becoming more efficient as it gained power, not less. The probe was somehow drawing energy from the folded space around it, making the entire process self-sustaining. That's impossible, Tommy muttered, but his instruments confirmed Sarah's readings. The field is actually generating more energy than we're putting into it. It's like the folded dimensions are feeding power back into our systems. Before Marcus could fully process this revelation, Lisa's voice cut through their amazement. Dimensional fold complete. The probe is ... gone. Telemetry shows instantaneous transit to Proxima Centauri system. Transit time, 0 seconds. The probe is already sending back data from 4 light-years away. The laboratory erupted in cheers and applause, but Marcus felt a chill run down his spine. Their success was more complete than they had dared hope, but the implications were staggering. If their drive could draw energy from folded space itself, it meant faster-than-light travel could be virtually free once the initial fold was established. "Dr. Chun," Lisa called out, her excitement suddenly replaced by confusion. "We're receiving additional signals from the probe. But these aren't from our instruments. Something else is out there." The celebration died instantly. Marcus pushed himself over to the communication station, where alien symbols scrolled across the screen in patterns too organized to be natural phenomena. The signals were clearly artificial, clearly intelligent, and clearly not human. "Are we looking at first contact?" Sarah whispered, her scientific excitement warring with very human fear. Before Marcus could answer, the alien signals changed. New patterns emerged, displaying what appeared to be mathematical concepts and star charts. Whoever was transmitting seemed to be trying to establish communication through universal principles that any spacefaring species would understand. "They're responding to our probe's arrival," Lisa said, her voice barely above a whisper. "They knew we were coming the instant we appeared in their system. They were waiting for us." Tommy's engineering instincts kicked in. If they detected our arrival instantaneously, their sensor technology is incredibly advanced. And if they were ready to communicate immediately. He didn't finish the thought, but everyone understood. Humanity had just announced itself to a galactic civilization that was far more sophisticated than they had imagined. The alien transmissions suddenly coalesced into something resembling human language, though the syntax was strange and the concepts foreign. Species identification requested. Transit method unknown. Galactic Council authorization not detected. Explain presence in restricted space. Marcus stared at the translated message, his mind reeling. Galactic Council? Restricted space? Authorization? Humanity had spent centuries wondering if they were alone in the universe, never imagining that faster-than-light travel might be regulated by some cosmic authority. Respond that we are human explorers from Earth, Marcus decided. Tell them we come in peace and wish to establish diplomatic contact. Lisa transmitted the message, but the response chilled them to the bone. Species human, not found in galactic database. Earth not registered as Council member world. Unauthorized faster-than-light travel detected. This constitutes violation of Galactic Statute 1247, military escort inbound. Through the probe's cameras, they watched as sleek alien spacecraft emerged from what appeared to be empty space. The ships were elegant and deadly, with smooth curves that suggested advanced engineering far beyond human capabilities. Energy weapons powered up with ominous glows, targeting systems locking onto their tiny probe. The lead alien vessel transmitted directly to them. I am Commander Vex 7 of the Corallan Empire Patrol Fleet. You will explain how your species achieved faster-than-light capability without Galactic Council oversight. This should not be possible. Asterisk Marcus felt the weight of speaking for all humanity as he responded. Commander Vex 7, we are Dr. Marcus Chon and the human research team responsible for developing our faster-than-light drive. We were unaware of any Galactic Council or restrictions on FTL travel. We developed this technology independently through our own scientific research. The pause that followed lasted several long seconds. When Commander Vex 7 responded, his translated voice carried notes of disbelief and growing alarm. Impossible. No species develops FTL technology without Council guidance. The mathematical complexities alone require computational resources beyond any single world's capabilities. Sarah leaned toward the communication array. Commander, we'd be happy to share our research data with you. Our approach uses dimensional folding rather than traditional space-time manipulation. Perhaps our method is different from your Council's approved techniques. Another pause, longer this time. When Next 7 spoke again, his tone had shifted from suspicion to something approaching fear. Dimensional folding? You claim to manipulate higher dimensional space without quantum stabilizers or exotic matter matrices? This is either an elaborate deception or... He stopped speaking entirely. Tommy looked at his teammates with growing unease. I don't think we just broke some traffic law. I think we broke something much more fundamental. Their probe sensors detected additional alien ships arriving through conventional faster-than-light jumps. These vessels were larger and more heavily armed, clearly military reinforcements responding to some kind of emergency. Whatever humanity had stumbled into, it was serious enough to warrant a significant armed response. Commander Dex 7's transmission resumed, but now he was clearly speaking to multiple parties simultaneously. Confirming unauthorized FTL capability. Species claims independent development of dimensional folding technology. Request immediate Council consultation. This may be a Code 7 scenario. What's a Code 7? Lisa whispered, but nobody had an answer. The alien commander addressed them directly once more. Dr. Chun, your species has created a situation that requires immediate resolution. You will surrender your faster-than-light drive technology to corral in custody pending Council review. Any attempt to return to your home system will be considered an act of aggression. Marcus felt his protective instincts flare. These aliens, however advanced, were demanding that humanity surrender its greatest achievement without explanation or negotiation. Commander Dex 7, with respect, we cannot comply with your demands. This technology represents decades of human research and development. We're willing to discuss it with your Galactic Council, but we won't simply hand it over. The response was immediate and chilling. Dr. Chun, you do not understand the gravity of your situation. The Galactic Council has maintained order throughout this galaxy for 15,000 years. No species achieves faster-than-light travel without Council approval. No species refuses Council directives. What you have done threatens the fundamental structure of galactic civilization. Through their probe, they watched as more alien ships continued to arrive. What had started as a small patrol was becoming a full fleet, with vessels representing multiple alien species converging on their position. Humanity's first contact was rapidly escalating into a potential interstellar incident. We need to get out of here, Tommy said quietly. This is way beyond anything we're equipped to handle. Marcus nodded grimly. Lisa, can we fold the probe back to our position? Already calculating the return transit, she confirmed. But Marcus, if we leave now, they'll know exactly where we came from. They'll know where to find Earth. The terrible truth settled over them like a dark cloud. Humanity's greatest triumph had potentially become its greatest threat. They had reached for the stars and discovered that the galaxy was already claimed by powers beyond their comprehension. Commander Dex 7's final transmission followed them as Lisa initiated the return. Fold. Dr. Chun, your species has 15 Earth rotations to surrender your FTL technology and submit to Council authority. Failure to comply will result in immediate intervention. The galaxy will not tolerate another rogue species. A probe disappeared from Proxima Centauri in another flash of blue light, carrying humanity's first ambassadors home with news that would change everything. As Marcus stared at the data they had collected, one thing became absolutely clear. Humanity was no longer alone in the universe, and their new neighbors were not pleased to meet them. The Council's response and humanity's stand, the massive space station Eternal Nexus hung in the void between galaxies, a testament to 15,000 years of galactic cooperation and control. Built from materials harvested from dead stars and shaped by technologies that could reshape matter at the quantum level, it served as the seat of power for the Galactic Council. Today, its vast chambers buzzed with an urgency not felt in millennia. Supreme Chancellor Varix of the Xanthari Confederation glided through the emergency assembly hall on 6 graceful legs, her crystalline exoskeleton reflecting the bioluminescent displays that lined the walls. Around her, representatives from 300 member species took their positions in the circular amphitheater that could hold beings of vastly different physiologies. Some breathed methane, others required intense radiation, and a few existed as pure energy constructs, but all shared one common trait: absolute faith in the Council's authority. Fellow Council members, Varix began, her harmonic voice translated. Simultaneously into hundreds of languages, we face an unprecedented crisis. A species calling itself human has achieved faster-than-light travel without our knowledge, guidance, or permission. A ripple of shocked communications passed through the assembly. Translator systems worked overtime to convert clicks, hums, electromagnetic pulses, and chemical releases into understandable concepts. The Corallan representative, a tall humanoid with blue-scaled skin, stood to address the chamber. Supreme Chancellor, I am Admiral Zex Prime of the Corallan Empire. My patrol commander encountered these humans directly. They claim to have developed something called dimensional folding technology. Our analysis suggests this is not merely a new approach to FTL travel, but potentially a superior one. The chamber erupted in disbelief. For 15,000 years, the Council had maintained galactic order by controlling faster-than-light technology. Only species that proved their worthiness through centuries of observation and testing received the gift of interstellar travel. The idea that a primitive species could independently develop superior technology challenged the very foundation of their authority. An ancient being that existed as a cloud of sentient gas pulsed with agitated colors. Its translated words carried the weight of eons. Impossible. The mathematical complexities of faster-than-light travel require collective knowledge accumulated over millions of years. No single species possesses sufficient computational resources. That is what we believed, Admiral Zex Prime replied carefully. However, our technical analysis division has confirmed that human dimensional folding technology operates on principles we do not fully understand. It appears to draw energy from folded spacetime itself, making it theoretically more efficient than our quantum tunnel drives. Supreme Chancellor Varix felt a chill that had nothing to do with the station's environmental controls. If the humans had truly developed superior FTL technology independently, it meant everything the Council taught about technological development was wrong. Worse, it meant other species might also be capable of achieving interstellar travel without Council approval. How many human worlds have we identified? She asked, dreading the answer. Preliminary scans indicate at least 47 colonized systems, Zex Prime reported. Their expansion appears to have been recent and rapid, suggesting they've had FTL capability for some time without our knowledge. The implications were staggering. While the Council had been monitoring what they believed was a primitive species confined to a single star system, humanity had been quietly building an interstellar civilization, using technology the Council didn't understand. A representative from the aquatic Nereid Collective raised a tentacled appendage. Supreme Chancellor, perhaps we should approach these humans diplomatically. If their technology is truly superior, we could learn from them while bringing them into the Council fold. Absolutely not, interrupted the delegate from the militaristic Vanguard Empire. His robotic form clicked and whirred as he spoke. This situation represents a clear threat to galactic stability. The humans must be brought under Council control. Immediately, By force if necessary. Asterisk Varix considered both perspectives while studying the intelligence reports flooding in from across human space. These beings had spread across dozens of star systems in mere decades, establishing thriving colonies and trade networks. They showed remarkable adaptability and ingenuity, traits that made them either valuable allies or dangerous enemies. Admiral Zex Prime, she said finally, what is your assessment of human military capabilities? The Corellan commander hesitated before responding. Difficult to determine, Supreme Chancellor. Their ships appear less advanced than ours in terms of weapons and defenses, but their dimensional folding drives give them unprecedented tactical mobility. They can appear anywhere in a star system instantly, while our forces are limited to established jump points. This revelation sent another wave of concern through the assembly. Military doctrine throughout the galaxy was based on controlling strategic jump points and hyperspace lanes. If humans could bypass these entirely, traditional fleet tactics became obsolete, the ancient gas being pulsed again, its colors shifting to deep purples and reds. Supreme Chancellor, I have lived through the rise and fall of 17 galactic civilizations. Each collapse began when established powers failed to adapt to revolutionary changes. We must act decisively before this human example inspires other species to seek independence. Varix knew the Ancient One spoke truth. Already, intelligence reports indicated unusual activity in several restricted systems where young species awaited Council approval for FTL technology. Word of humanity's success was spreading, and with it, dangerous ideas about technological independence. Asterisk. The Council will issue an ultimatum, she decided. The humans will surrender their faster-than-light technology and submit to Council authority within 15 standard cycles. Failure to comply will result in immediate military intervention. Meanwhile, in Earth's underground command center in Geneva, President Rebecca Torres stood before a room full of humanity's greatest minds and military leaders. The news from Dr. Chan's team had transformed humanity's understanding of its place in the universe. They were no longer alone, but their new neighbors were demanding submission. Dr. Chun, President Torres said, turning to the physicist who had started it all, give me your assessment of our situation. Marcus looked exhausted but determined. His team had worked tirelessly for 72 hours, analyzing every scrap of data from their encounter with the Corellan fleet. Madame President, the Galactic Council appears to be a vast bureaucratic empire that has controlled interstellar travel for 15 millennia. They regulate which species get FTL technology and which don't. And they want us to give up our dimensional folding drive, added General Patricia Hayes, Earth's highest-ranking military officer. From what we can tell, our technology is not just different from theirs. It might actually be better. President. Torres studied the holographic displays showing human colonies scattered across dozens of star systems. In just 50 years since developing FTL travel, humanity had built a thriving interstellar civilization. The idea of surrendering that progress to alien bureaucrats was unthinkable. What are our defensive capabilities? She asked. General Hayes activated a tactical display. We have approximately 800 ships equipped with dimensional folding drives, ranging from exploration vessels to military cruisers. Our manufacturing capacity is growing rapidly as more colonies come online. However, intelligence suggests the Galactic Council commands thousands of species and millions of ships. The numbers were daunting, but Dr. Chan stepped forward with a revelation that changed everything. Madame President, we've made a breakthrough in our analysis of the Council's technology. Their faster-than-light drives use quantum tunneling through established hyperspace routes. They're fast, but they're predictable. He gestured to a complex diagram showing the fundamental differences between human and alien FTL systems. Our dimensional folding technology doesn't use hyperspace at all. We literally fold normal spacetime around our ships. This means we can go anywhere, anytime, without warning. They can't track us, intercept us, or predict our movements. The implications hit everyone simultaneously. Humanity might be vastly outnumbered, but they possess tactical advantages that could level the playing field. Their ships could strike without warning and disappear instantly, making traditional fleet engagements nearly impossible. There's more, Dr. Chun continued. During our encounter with the Corallan fleet, we detected quantum signatures from dozens of other species in restricted systems. The Council isn't just controlling FTL technology. They're actively suppressing species that might develop it independently. President Torres felt her resolve hardening. This wasn't just about humanity's freedom to explore the stars. It was about standing up to a system that kept entire civilizations in technological servitude. Dr. Chun, can we make contact with these suppressed species? I believe so, Madame President. Our dimensional folding drives can reach any point in the galaxy. We could offer to share our technology with species that want to break free from Council control. The room fell silent as everyone contemplated the magnitude of what they were discussing. Humanity was considering not just resistance to the Galactic Council, but active rebellion that could inspire a galaxy-wide uprising. General Hayes broke the silence. Madame President, if we're going to do this, we need to act fast. Intelligence suggests the Council is mobilizing a massive fleet. They're not planning to negotiate. President Torres looked around the room at faces filled with determination and defiance. These people had spent their lives pushing humanity toward the stars. They had built something magnificent among the distant suns, and they weren't going to surrender it without a fight. General Hayes, begin immediate mobilization of all available ships. Dr. Chun, I want dimensional folding drives installed on every vessel we can spare. And I want you to begin reaching out to these suppressed species. If the Council wants a war, they're going to discover that humanity doesn't back down from bullies, no matter how big they are. As alarms began sounding across Earth's command centers and ships throughout human space received mobilization orders, President Torres composed humanity's response to the Galactic Council's ultimatum. Her words would echo across the galaxy, inspiring some and terrifying others. To the Galactic Council and Supreme Chancellor Varix, she began, her voice being recorded for transmission across interstellar space. Humanity rejects your ultimatum. We developed our faster-than-light technology through our own ingenuity and hard work. We built our civilization through our own determination and sacrifice. We will not surrender our achievements to an authority we never acknowledged. Furthermore, she continued, her voice growing stronger, we call upon all species throughout the galaxy who dream of reaching the stars. Freedom cannot be granted. It must be taken. The age of Council control is ending. The age of galactic freedom begins now. As the transmission raced toward the eternal nexus at faster-than-light speed, carried by the same dimensional folding technology that had started this crisis, humanity prepared for the greatest challenge in its history. They were about to face an empire that had ruled the galaxy for 15,000 years, but they faced it as free beings who refused to bow to anyone. The war for galactic freedom was about to begin, and humanity intended to win it. Asterisk.